Is it working
I
now?
disliked it. That's so funny.
I think we're live. Let's see, is it live?
Yep.
Okay, I'll send out the stream.
Perfect timing.
Do you want to post on Instagram?
I posted on my personal story.
Okay.
Hi, buddy.
Alright, good afternoon, kittens.
This is gonna be our worst stream yet.
Why do you say that?
I don't know.
Why do you say that?
That's
Why do you
just not
say
the way
that?
I wanted to start.
Alright.
Messaging Craig. Happy birthday, Craig. So scared.
Ikiab, do you know what that means?
Huh?
Ikiab.
No, I don't.
Ikiab.
Is yeah, I don't think you could be saying that.
What? Ikiab means
Yes, I know what it means.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, I know.
Ikiab, I don't think we had to do conventional weapons.
I'm glad we did.
Of course.
For but no, you're right. But I mean, did you look up what the story behind it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that further solidifies that we could have skipped it.
It's still like it's a full album that they
I
recorded
don't know.
and eventually decided to release. So
I mean, they didn't even release it as an album. They just put it out as singles.
no, which is really funny to me because they are not created equal.
Yeah. Do
It'd be
we...
funny to split it up, but I don't. I think that they average out like perfectly, at least in my ranking.
Did
So,
we want to have it before or after Danger Days?
we can do it before.
Okay.
We can do it before, yeah, since that's technically the recording.
Did anybody join?
No, not yet. We can fill out for the first like couple minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it to
Chris-
Rico. Chris is
No,
probably
but it
getting out
was,
of work right now,
True.
but it's also his
I guess.
birthday, so...
Yeah.
Uh-oh. The votes are
Oh,
in.
Music League.
The
Music
votes
League.
are in.
I think I'd like tied for third.
No way, I won?
That was you.
Let's fucking go. Oh, and Krish fucking says... I feel like they're not
Is he-
really a super group. I'm gonna shoot somebody. I can't say that. But
It definitely counts. What doesn't count is my favorite song on the playlist.
which one?
Center.
Asian
It's-
Glow?
Yeah, it's not a super group. It's a collaborative EP, but they didn't release it under, like, Weather Glow is just the name of the EP. They didn't create a group, so
Oh.
I don't think it counted. But also, it's my favorite song there. So,
Yeah.
Chris Minus doing it is disappointing.
What was it?
Let's go. No minuses for mine. Oh wait, actually,
Rico
never mind.
didn't vote.
Wait, where did mine go? Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, 1 minus for mine. It was just at the bottom of the plus sevens. I'm blind. I submitted like a
Definitely
stone.
The Smile is definitely a super group. I don't...
Yeah.
It's
didn't know
literally
that
on the
the drummer was
Wikipedia
from a
page.
previous-
It's on the
I didn't know
Wikipedia
that the-
page for like official supergroups.
I didn't know that I just thought it was like.
Why would two Radiohead members just randomly start playing with some random ass drummer that's never been in any bands?
But is he like? It's like it's only a super group, I think, if every member is established, and he's significantly less established than the others, but that doesn't make it not a super group. Like it's still.
And Led
He still
Zeppelin is technically a
has-
supergroup too.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the bands he was in has a Wikipedia page, I think warrants more than enough.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. He's so good too.
I don't think anybody's gonna join.
Why did Chris say he's like busy?
I'll send it to
Or-
Krish.
I sent it on Discord. We probably should have picked a time earlier.
What?
We probably should have picked a time earlier.
Maybe.
I'm fine waiting around until we get people. Then in the
Just need one
Skip
person.
skip to 20 minutes. That's when it starts. It hasn't even been 10 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah.
Cringe. I think it's gonna say no. Still unwatched. Interesting.
You gonna play Death Stranding?
At some point, probably.
This is the best time. Death
I
Stranding 2 is gonna
know.
come out, and you're gonna be pissed you didn't play the first one already.
Am I?
Yeah.
Only if I get like spoilers.
Somebody said that I think one of the reviewers, he was like, if Death Stranding 1 is like The Godfather, that Death Stranding 2 is like The Godfather Part 2, and that you didn't think it could get any better, yet it somehow does.
I still have not seen The Godfather.
Hey, maybe you aren't as cultured as I thought you were.
I just have like weird gaps.
This game's gonna be so good. I've been playing the new Claire Obscure game. Claire Obscure.
Yeah, I've never
Krish
heard
is
of
here.
that
Krish is here.
series.
It's not a series.
Buzzing,
I
happy
don't think it's a
birthday.
series.
Oh, okay. Well, why is it called like 30 Expedition?
I
don't
think
know.
it's
got a
just.
weird-ass
I
name.
think it was a French title that went through hell of translation. So I'm nearly
Got it.
positive that's what happened.
Is it as good as people say?
I'm enjoying it. It's pretty fun. The combat's really fun, but I think the exploration and some of the relationship stuff isn't that good.
I see.
But the combat is some of the. It might be my favorite turn-based RPG combat I've ever done.
I think I saw some footage of it that looked really cool. Like, there's really
It feels
like,
really good if you're able to like master parries.
Yeah, it's like if Paper Mario was like made in Unreal, basically.
So I would say it's even more similar to the Mario and Luigi RPG.
Oh yeah, sorry, not wait.
Paper Mario has some
Paper
elements,
Mario
but I
does that
think
too.
I think that the Mario and Luigi ones is more similar still.
That's why we have 3 viewers. Because okay, never mind. Max is also here, but it was weird seeing Krish the call.
Wait, how's Krisher on 2 different accounts? Whoa, wait, is this a secret? Is this a secret Krish account?
Krish joined on his work email.
What is
Welcome.
Krish McGall the second? I just found a I just found a third Krish account. What?
It goes too deep. It goes too deep.
What the hell?
You know too much. That's not me. Wait, what? Who made a Krish account and said Bazinga? Wait, what? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Krish, explain yourself.
Speaking of
Oh
having,
yeah, that's just some other person with the same name.
in the
I
same
think.
picture as Krish.
Oh, but the first Krish McGall was you. Just on
I
the
have
wrong
another.
account.
I have another Krish thing to send you.
Uh-oh. Personal, yeah, figures.
That was when I found
Is this
Krish's.
real?
That's when I found Krish's personal Reddit, and he posted it, and he got 23,000 upvotes.
Holy shit! Happy birthday, Krish! Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Okay, it's past 10 minutes. We have people here.
All right, good
I think it's
afternoon,
time to
kittens.
begin.
Welcome to SocietyCore. This is gonna be our My Chemical Romance episode.
Hell yeah.
I picked it.
That means you start, right? That's how this works. Every time I forget.
No, I think you start.
Really?
Yeah. It's whoever doesn't pick it starts.
I thought it was just the whoever doesn't pick it gets to. I don't know. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, sure. I'll start. So I should have these Wikipedia pages pulled up right now. But
Yeah, even Krish said Aiden starts.
thank
Krish knows
you
more
for-
about SocietyCore than you.
Why haven't we modded you yet? I meant to do that earlier as a little birthday surprise. I forgot. Thank you for keeping us honest. So, My Chemical Romance was formed in, I think, late 2001, early 2002 by Gerard Way and Mike Guerrero. Oh wait, actually no. I think Mike Guerrero didn't join
Isn't it Frankie Arrow?
yet. Fuck, Frank Guerrero and Mikey Way. I'm out of it today. Yes, they started with Gerard, his brother Mikey,
Yeah,
and
Mikey Way. That feels like
Ray-
a fake name.
bassist. No, oh, holy shit! They had a bassist and then another guitarist. They created some shitty demos. Then they recorded Frankie Arrow and created their first album, which I will get to. But before all that, Gerard Way was interviewing at Cartoon Network for an animation position.
You're fucked for laughing.
What?
You're giggling as you're telling this story.
It's fucking crazy. Sorry. They were interviewing for an animation position, and I think literally on their way home witnessed the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Classic.
And that kind of snapped them back to reality and made them realize they wanted to pursue their dream of making music. And it's kind of a miracle that something so awful brought us My Chemical Romance, who are one of my favorite bands of all time. And I think that's enough to start talking about the first album.
That was a good fun
Okay.
fact.
I Jesus Christ. I used to not like this album. But the more I listen to it, the more I enjoy it. It's very rough around the edges. It's Sorry, I just saw Krish's comment. But it's really charming. Like, it's not all over the place, but it blends a fuck ton of different genres. Like, it's got emo, it's got metal, like punk, pop, and like rock to all create a very unique sound that they eventually like evolved into the like quintessential MCR sound. But because it's got all of these different elements, it's really unique. It just sounds rough, I think, is its biggest downfall, is that it's like I think the most challenging of their listens because of like recording quality and or production quality, and how different the songwriting is. Like, but to me, it's very special, and I ended up loving it after maybe like 10 listens. An
10?
absurd amount of
Oh my
listens.
god.
I listened so many times because I had heard it before, like coming back, and it just clicked this time around where I'm like, oh, I get it now. So I definitely have track highlights, but what are your opinions on I Brought You My
Um,
Bullets?
so this was
You
the
Loved
first MCR album I have ever listened to.
It.
Um, so when I was listening to it, I was like, "Damn, this production's kind of ass." And then I had to look into it, and a lot of it made more sense. Um, I'll put it out there. I'm not that big of a fan of emo music and stuff similar to that, but I wanted to try to expand my taste and see all that My Chemical Romance had to offer. But I feel like this one was definitely the most like I feel like emo, or like the most influence from like all those other types of bands. Um, but my overall thoughts were that it was definitely like rough around the edges, definitely within the production, and I think even in some of the songwriting, so they would do some of the random switches to like choruses or other parts. But I also feel like that's kind of more of a staple of emo music, where it kind of abruptly will change. But I still thought it was enjoyable, and that it was definitely like, okay, this is like them getting their feet on the ground before they're gonna like really. It's like I was almost like it's like exciting seeing what they do in this album to see like what the next one was gonna be like, because you definitely could hear like the potential even if it wasn't like fully there. But yeah, so I basically it was like I enjoyed it, but I was like I feel like it's gonna get a lot better in the future.
I forgot to mention my ranking system.
Oh no.
I did something similar to what we did for Greep and King Gizzard, where I made three categories out of five. One is for like songwriting, one is for instrumentation and structure, and then the last one is just like how much I enjoy the song and how like important it is to the discography. And I also wrote down a lot of lyrics that I love, like highlights from each album and a lot of the songs. So, because I think that Gerard Way's songwriting is so fucking fun. It's just so melodramatic and like raw and uh emo, especially on this album. Uh, you have track highlights from this?
Um, I think the highest I gave things were 7, but I think my favorite was Head First for Halos.
Yeah,
I think I even remember reading and said this was kind of the sound that they would go to explore in the other
yeah,
albums. But I liked the I mean there was I think what is it Romance was kind of like an interlude.
yeah. It's like a acoustic
Yeah.
intro.
I like
Yeah,
that, and then Our Lady of Sorrows, and then Early Sunsets over Monroeville. Those are my favorites.
I felt like Our Lady of Sorrows and Cubicles, which were two of the first songs they ever recorded, like they were the demos. I think they re-recorded them for the
Mm.
album, but they were the weakest to me.
I do not like
So
cubicles.
interesting that Our Lady of Sorrows, but I think I'm in the minority for Our Lady of Sorrows because it's like one of the songs that they would play a lot
Mm.
live. Uh, Headfirst for Halos was my second favorite track on the album. My favorite lyric of the entire album is, "And as the fragments of my skull begin to fall, fall on your tongue like pixie dust. Just think happy thoughts." So
Christ.
fucking like the drama. It's so good. Uh, and really does start to get into the themes like of a lot of MCR's music. Like in this, there's a lot of fantastical elements, like vampires, and they kind of go away from that later on, and get more into like issues, more into like grounded violence or like
Realistic.
yeah. Well, I what's a good comparison? They go from like
I don't
I
know.
can't think of a good vampire property that's like serious, but they go from like that to like Devil May Cry almost. I feel like in the aesthetic a little bit. Um. Oh, my favorite song in the album is "Drowning Lessons," though. I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah.
It's the only song I gave a perfect score off of it.
Jesus.
It's actual, just the emotional rawness of that song, and the like structure of it is pretty interesting. So, I love it. I also had a note that Demolition Lovers is like the only in dreams of their
Dear
discography.
God.
It's like 7 minutes long and comes at the end of their first album, so that's the only point of comparison. It's very different, um, but it's important in the lore because it's like a love story, and the like themes of that song directly inspired all of the songwriting of their second album, which the cover art for I think is titled Demolition Lovers 2. So, where are you feeling on Probably My Bullets?
I don't know. We only have 5 albums,
Yeah.
and if
So
like,
where we put it is really going to be telling for where everything else is.
should we? It's like I don't even know if we should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if we should still do S, A, B, C, D.
Oh, we should definitely do SABCD
Okay.
for sure. For
Okay.
sure.
With considering everything else, I'd probably put it in B.
I have it solidly in A, but we can. I originally would have put it in B. Did you go
Yeah.
back to it after listening to
No.
everything else? Okay,
But I still think it would be in B.
it might go up because you notice a lot of like
I
cool things about it. At
still
least
think
if you,
it would
I
be
don't know,
in B.
maybe not. Maybe you didn't become a fan, but okay, let's do B then.
Okay.
But I
We
think
can
we're gonna
rearrange
move
stuff
it later.
if we need to.
This is interesting.
Oh God.
All right, you're
I
up
get to
for
do the
three
next
cheers
one?
for Sweet Revenge.
All right, 3 cheers for Sweet Revenge. Aiden, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, Aiden. I know it's one of your favorite albums ever. But I think it goes to I really tried getting into this genre and enjoying it and listening to it. I was like, I understand it. I respect the merit and the, I guess, like the typical, I feel like, tropes that go within that genre, and I'm just like, it's just not for me. I thought it was definitely a step up in the songwriting and production like a crazy jump. At least for the production, definitely from the first album. But for that being said, I think like a lot of the songs, I thought they were fine. And I could appreciate why a bunch of other people enjoy it or like understand why. But I didn't get the full appeal of the album, I guess.
Gonna throw up. Okay. So this is top 3 albums of all time for me, I
Dear
think.
God.
I'll start with the album's flaws, which I think that the production on the album is a little bit rough. I think it gets in the way of some of the songs, especially if you're listening on speakers, like loud, like in the car. There's like a fuzz over a lot of it, and like some almost clipping that detracts from some of the song quality when you're not listening like high fidelity. Also, that's mostly on the A side though. On the B side, I don't really think it's a problem even in over speakers, like because for some reason it works really well like within the songs. Like it just gives it kind of an intentional lo-fi feel, whereas in the first bit, I don't always love it. And other than that, I think it's perfect. It's one of the best sequenced albums ever, in my opinion, because it has such an intense energy and quickness. Like, if you love the sound and if you love what they're doing here, you will love the whole thing because it's just so consistent. It flows from one song into the next, maintains energy when it needs to, gives you a break when it needs to, and it makes it so difficult for me to not listen to it all the way through when I put it on. And every time I re-listen, like, I hear new things and appreciate new things. It's also a concept album with a really like well executed concept that is very thematic and it's not overbearing or like overly specific, which becomes an issue I think down the line for me, where it's very like emotionally evocative and kind of tells a story in its feelings and imagery and ideas without being like it is a concept album, not a like story album or very hyper specific. And it also just has some of the best vocals, I think. Like Gerard Way is so unhinged, and his vocal delivery, like the way that he sings, nobody else, I think, ever had to that point. I haven't heard anything like it, and I don't think anyone else can replicate it. At least not well. And the instrumentation is just so fucking fun and raw and like awesome throughout. Like I would say like half the album is like perfect songs and the rest is like very, very, very good songs. Yeah, I'm sad that you don't love it, but I also get it because it's so completely like realized. Like it is what it is. So it's not like the kind of universally lovable album that it's like how can you not love it? It's like I can get why you don't love it because it is so devoted to its concept and genre, and for me is really revolutionary. But I was hoping you'd like it.
A lot of it, if it's like really into like the concept album, is probably lost to me because I don't care for the lyrics that much. Like I still looked at it when I was like going through the album, but I feel like I don't. I know a lot of people get like that's like a huge part for them. But if the songs aren't songin', you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To me, the songs are very songing.
No, I think my favorites were "I'm Not Okay" and "The Ghost of
Yeah.
You."
I love The Ghost of You. Hell yeah, that is one of the perfect ones. I think I'm Not Okay. Fun fact about it is they originally like didn't want to add. I think it was on this. They didn't want to add a final chorus, the like last one where they just repeat. And the producer was like, "This is a pop song. You need to like treat it like a pop song." And so they added it. And I think it's funny that like later on they lean so heavily into like pop structure and
Yeah.
tropes that like at this point they were like, no, it needs to be raw, it needs to be rock. Uh, but I think that last chorus like really does make the song. It's an anthem. Um, those were your only two highlights. Nothing else. Not even
I will
Helena.
say that those are the first 8 I gave.
Those were eights,
Yeah.
not tens.
Yeah.
Damn.
Um, I did
Uh,
not. 8 is the highest I went.
on anything?
Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, at least that means that proportionally we can maybe we'll be able to be in agreement proportionally, and the tier list will look fine.
Let's hope.
What? Okay. What? Did you have any lowlights, like
Yeah.
songs you
I
didn't
mean, so
like?
that's why it's like I had 8s and then the lowest were 6. So it wasn't even like anything that I didn't
Mm,
really like. It was just like I think all of it was like good or like good enough, but I wasn't just like, oh my god, like I wasn't. I was fully enthralled
I
through
think I
parts
had
of it.
maybe one
I had
song below a
Jet Set
six.
Life and Hang 'Em High.
Really?
Yeah.
The Jet Set Life is one of the. It's definitely one of the like. I think it's one of the weirder songs. Like sometimes it's one of the ones where the like production messes with it the most for me, I
Mm.
think. Um Hang 'em High though, I thought you would like that one, honestly. It's like a western song.
King Gizzard has
Uh,
ruined Western
oh
music for
yeah.
me.
Okay, fair. It's so cool though. Did you not like Cemetery Drive?
I give that a 7.
Damn.
Actually, yeah. So besides the 4 songs I just talked about, every other song got a 7.
Whatever. Whatever. That's fine.
Well,
Okay, where would you put it?
I'd put it in A.
Well, it's going in S.
You get the
Uh,
final say on this one.
I do. It's going in S. Uh,
Christ.
I'm surprised. Would you not have? Well, I mean, I'm guessing you would have an S tier album then.
Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Ooh, okay. So I talk
Now it's
about the
on
Black
you.
Parade.
Yep.
Okay, so post Three Cheers, I think they they achieved like crazy success from that album. Like it blew up. Like compared to their debut, it was so absurdly successful, and I think they felt a lot of pressure to push themselves and do something like incredible. Uh, and I think that the approach that they took to do it is awesome, and I really respect it. Um, and I think that there are trade-offs though, where with how raw Three Cheers is. Like they had and like Intense, they had to let go of some of that to make space for like the concept and like the rock opera, um, and bring in more elements of theater, and it changes like the listening experience so much. Like these are two fundamentally very, very different albums, even though they came out like 2 years apart and are made by the same people, um, and are for the most part the same genres. Uh, and so to me, I prefer the direction on Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, like just as an album, because the Black Parade really does like try to tell a story more explicitly, and like do go to some very different and interesting places and experiment a little bit, not to a place that is challenging, but just like there's a lot more variety on it. um, and I think that its best songs, for the most part, are the ones that stick to like the iconic classic MCR sound. Uh, but it's still an incredible album. Like it's only slightly weaker to me than Three Cheers. And there's also a fun, well, not really fun, but some lore about it. Is at the time, because of all of the, it's an album about death and mental illness and dying and coping with it and tragedy, uh, and from that, and from like the scene, scene, the like social movement, the subculture, there was like a bit of a moral panic, and the Daily Mail called them the leaders of the emo cult, and that they like encouraged suicide.
Jesus.
And in an article, yeah, it was bad. But the cool part about it is the pushback was like super intense, and fans reacted like being like, no, talking about mental illness is not the same thing as glorifying it. And there was like signs and chants of like MCR saved my life, is like I don't, there might even be have been like t-shirts about it, I can't remember, but that's like the refrain that came
Damn.
from what happened, because
Awesome.
like, yeah, it really is like not negative music. It's very happy, like life affirming music that just tackles really upsetting themes. So overall, also love this album.
Are we swapping it over?
Yeah, yeah.
All
What are
right.
your thoughts?
This is my favorite one that they did.
Mhm.
Um, I think I think that this one definitely is more leaning into, I feel like, the alt rock genre, and it's kind of moving less away from the or moving away from the some of the more emo stuff. I feel like more pop, and I guess expanding it to a larger audience. Um, so I thought that this album, I just like, for me personally, I think there was a lot more like uh, bangers on the album and stuff I wanted to revisit more. And I think, I know you said the sequencing on Three Cheers was pretty good, but I personally like the Black Parade one more, like especially the very beginning, where
Yeah,
it starts at the end and then it kind of transitions into Dead. That would just might be one of like my favorite transitions ever.
yeah.
Um,
It's so awesome.
I think when I first listened to it, I was like, that was fucking awesome. Um, and then I also feel like yes, definitely their most produced, and I feel like they probably spent the most money and time and effort and everything up to that point. Um, I also feel like it was super influential for like the other kind of like pop punk bands that would soon to come out after that, all of which I never listened to or or got into, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's like cool seeing. It's like Elliott Smith for all the current singer songwriters. I'm kidding. But I thought this song there was a lot. This album there was like a lot of songs. I'm like, okay, this is just really fun in the songwriting, and it's really cool to sing along to. And for one of the first times, I feel like some of this stuff was more like theater core, I guess.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I kind of like it. Where I feel like most of the time, where if some albums kind of go that route, I'm like, I don't enjoy that. And
Yeah.
I think they also kind of had like a sea shanty, a little bit, that I think more
Huh?
partial to than
What would be the
not
sea
the sea
shanty?
shanty, but they're like show tuney maybe. But it was similar to the fucking
Oh, Mama.
Mollusk album song.
I would imagine.
I forget
you
which
meant
one.
Mama and no, I think Mama is the most show tuney of any of them. It's so fucking over the top. It's crazy. Oh, that song's incredible. What happens if I
No, I don't think it's this one.
really? Mama.
No, the last song, the hidden track, Blood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Funny. I don't like it.
So that was where I was like,
You're
I was
right,
like, I
you're
can
right, you're
enjoy
right.
it more than I have enjoyed like other songs in that style. It's like this album gets the pass for whatever reason.
If I take off the two, yeah, no, even if I take off the two weakest tracks for me, it's still below 3 years. I don't like Blood, honestly. It's the only song on the album that I don't like.
The only one
think
I
House
don't
of
like is
Wolves
I Don't
like
Love
it.
You.
Really? Aw. It's really formulaic.
That's the only one I gave a 6.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, this album is just so clean. Like it's just very cleanly produced, and like, yeah, the way it flows especially at the start is like really awesome. But it feels a lot less like momentum building to me when I listen through
This
it.
album feels epic.
No, it is very epic though. And ending on famous last words like that is incredible. And then they added Blood, and I'm like, no, you should have let it end there.
Well, it was like a bonus
That's
track, right? So
supposed to
I feel like you could still be like, no, it did end there, and then they just kind of threw that shit on at
Well-
the end of a vinyl.
Well, it's on the end of everything. It's literally just like it plays after like a minute of silence.
That was like a gimmick
That's what's
that like
hidden.
vinyl used to do, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
the thing would end, and then usually it wasn't listed on the album,
Yeah, I don't think it was. And
and then it would just start playing.
I wish they hadn't done it, or at least if they had done it, I wish it was a better song.
It's like Endless Nameless on Nevermind.
Mm. So I'm assuming this is your S tier.
Yeah.
So that was why you were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I would agree that it's an S for me.
Yeah.
But obviously I would have it below 3 tiers.
Yeah.
But I know that isn't like.
From what I
That
could
is
tell,
not-
every person I talked to that was an MCR fan said that 3 Cheers was better.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of them. But I feel like
Awesome.
people that aren't as big of fans would probably be like, oh, the only album I even fully listened to was like Black Parade or something.
Yeah. And it's definitely their. Like,
Everybody fucking knows the
popular.
Welcome to the Black Parade. Do you want to talk about like
Yes.
certain songs that were
Yeah, I was
good?
just gonna
Okay.
say I gotta at least shout out Teenagers for really fucking annoying me. Like,
What?
I can't, I do not like that song anymore.
Teenagers Scared. Did you see the video description
No,
for our stream?
no.
Go and look at it.
What did you put? The living, just his teenage scare the living. That's all it says.
I started writing the song and then I started the stream. That's a fun song. It's a fun song. I like it.
And I've heard it too many times.
I haven't heard it enough.
Yeah, give it like 10 years.
Okay.
Give it 10 years.
2035.
Yeah. Then you'll be like, I see where you're coming from.
The SocietyCore retrospective series.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. Shout out Cancer also for being an incredible ballad. We might see it live because Sloppy Jane has a cover of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Christ.
And she submitted it to the official Kilby playlist, so might be on there. Let's see.
I was also gonna say ones we haven't talked about yet. Sleep and then Disenchanted. I like those ones a lot too.
Yeah. Me too. This Is How I Disappear, Sharpest Lives, and Famous Last Words are my favorite, though. And I think
that's
that
crazy.
Those are
those 7.
Those are the ones that are most similar to like the style that they had previously, where they don't change it up as much, where it's the same sound but just cleaner produced. And I think if they had done a full album that was just like that, it would be the best album of all time.
Yeah.
For me, at least. But, oh god, yeah. Surprised those are all 7s for you. Like,
it's like,
again,
I don't know.
I guess it's, yeah, the style is...
I feel like this is the most I could probably ever enjoy emo, for whatever reason.
Well, this album isn't even like...
No.
There's like no emo really on it. At least not like traditional emo. There's a little bit of like the scene or like pop.
Yeah, if you want real emo, you gotta check out Danger Days.
Is that the transition?
No. We're doing conventional weapons next, anyways. All right, where's it going? Where's it going? Definitely an S, but which?
Definitely an S. I feel like at times they've been tied for me, and I think that we can put the Black Parade ahead, you know. But because we're doing that, we're moving Bullets up to Bullets up to A.
I'm good with that.
Because I think that would be the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think you have to be a sick fuck if you didn't have those in the top 2. There's something wrong with you.
All right.
Oh, do I talk about the next one?
Weapons.
All right.
Yes, you do.
Conventional weapons. So the lore. They started making an album. I think they were working with somebody, and I think they like almost finished it or whatever. And they got to the end and they were like, "We don't really like this. I think we're gonna drop the whole fucking thing, and start from scratch and make a new album. That's gonna be so much better than the one that we just did." And so they completely dropped it, but then I think, was it 3? I mean, this is 2009, I think. So then in 4 years later, they're like, "All right, guys, all those songs we made before, we're gonna drop them now." I don't know if it's because I don't know if they officially broke up or what happened to why. I don't know why they released it 4 years later. If you do,
I'll double check right now.
But
I think it was literally just like they decided they wanted to.
Yeah, but then they didn't even release it as an album. Then they released it. They just started dropping singles, but more like the singles with the B side. So each single had 2 songs, and they released 5 of them, and then I think they put out a box set which had all 5 of them. So kind of like a compilation. It was a compilation box set, but I guess technically never a compilation album. But people call it Conventional Weapons, and I almost feel like just even giving all that backstory, it can tell you exactly how this album came out. I I was gonna say, maybe it was good that okay. I will say this. I think Danger Days maybe does work better as a full album than Conventional Weapons. I understand why they didn't release Conventional Weapons as an album because I do not think it goes good with everything together. I think it feels very disjointed, which is I feel you can definitely if you kind of see it as 5 separate singles. I think you can appreciate it more. I think some of the songs that are on the singles are like similar like tone wise, I guess, or kind of the vibes they're trying to emit. But I feel like it's at this point where they definitely went full like alternative rock kind of pop sound, and like fully kind of shifts away from like where they started. But I think for my own personal enjoyment, these singles really did not do it for me, and it really borders on cringe for some of the songs. I thought it was fine with some poor misses.
Yeah. Some additional context is like they went crazy during the Black Parade era. Like the music videos, the touring, like the performances, the everything they'd done to record the album, like they were fucking exhausted and they're like, we miss just being like a rock band. So let's try to avoid doing a concept, like actively avoid making any like no characters, nothing, just songs, just the music. And then they worked with a producer who'd worked with like AC/DC, fucking there were just like a litany of really good, like successful bands, and when they were done, they were just like, this was not creatively fulfilling. So it wasn't that they're like the music was bad, but they were just like, we could do better, and I think they just needed to like purge their system, like just get some shit out. But then they were like, no, we can't release this. But I don't think it was bad enough. I think you really nailed it with like that it doesn't go well together, and I think that's why they didn't release it as an EP and then they did 5 singles, because truly, like, how the fuck would you sequence this?
Yeah.
Like it's just a super mixed bag, and I think they just wanted to explore creatively, like. So I don't think it came from a bad place, but I also don't think like it really measures up to anything that they released as an album. And to me, there were some songs I did really end up loving, though.
Yeah.
There was like 1, 2, 3
I can
songs
actually divide
that I
up
really
the
loved.
singles by which ones I enjoyed and which ones I didn't.
Yeah, there was only one that I was like really enjoyed both of them, though. No, 2 of them I liked. There's definitely a ranking of singles. I'm curious. Okay, what's your ranking of the singles then?
Okay, I don't even know if I could fully like rank them. Most of them were similar, and then there was 2 that were definitely not. I did not like as much as the others.
Which ones?
The second and the 5th one.
And the 5th?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. For me, it's the 2nd and the 4th. I think the 4th
Okay.
one is the worst.
I think the 4th one, it was like I enjoyed it, but I think that's definitely when it bordered on cringe the most, maybe.
Yeah, I think that it's a little cringe, especially because it kind of like one of the songs gets reworked, or like lyrically they took some of those ideas and reworked them into like Danger Days.
I did not pick up on that at all.
Yeah. How did you miss that?
There was also a bigger break for me between Conventional Weapons and Danger Days.
And you listened to it. You listened to this before.
Yeah.
Danger Days.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think if you go back, you'll be like, oh yeah.
Okay.
On Make Room, It ends really strong, but like most of the song is just it's really bad. It's yeah, one of the few below sixes I gave. Um,
I
okay,
think the
so
second one was just ass though. Like I don't know what to say about the second one. It was just not good.
I kind of like the second one.
The second
thought it was-
single?
Yeah,
I thought you said you didn't like the second and fourth one.
I think they're the weakest,
Oh.
but I still kind of like the second one.
I mean, I would say the highest anything got on here was 7, and then the lowest was like a 5.
Oof.
So
I thought Ambulance was kind of a fun Queen homage
that
because
was my
they
least
had a lot
favorite.
of influence from Queen. Yeah, that it makes sense. It's your least favorite. And then Gun had like Gun is cringe,
Yeah.
but also the chorus is kind of fun. So I don't know.
I think for me, like for the 5th single, I think they kind of went into more of like the longer, I feel like epics. What I would call it. And I just didn't care for that as much.
Surrender the Night was my favorite of the singles. So, and then Burn Bright I think was a little weaker, but
Yeah.
still good. The Light Behind Your Eyes is a really cool ballad, and then Boy Division is a great just like pop rock single. Don't listen to anything else though. Really, it can all be skipped.
This is what we should have done. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I wanted to go back.
That was the one you hadn't listened to before, right?
Yeah, I'd only heard like Boy Division. That was the only song because my friend was like, "Oh, it's so good. Conventional Weapons is really good." It's like, Sure.
All right, where's it going?
Okay.
Where's it going?
I would personally put it in B.
Really? Okay. I was thinking more C, but
I'm fine with C, but I'll get into like why
Okay.
my ranking is the way that
we can
is.
put it in B. We can put it in
Yeah.
B. You do the last one.
Yeah.
Give us the full title. Give us the full title.
Okay, the full title, yeah, for sure. Let me just look that up really quick. Oh wait, actually, I have it in my list. Danger Days: The True Lives of Fabulous Killjoys. Ooh, a shiver. I find this album annoying.
Yeah.
I think that it's a rock opera again, but it's taken to the extreme. It's like
They lost the
what
sauce.
what if Akira was a western? Like there's so much influence in the ideas from Akira. Like it takes place in 2019. Everyone's on motorcycles.
God.
There's a bunch of shit about like weapons and like beyond. After that, it also it's like Akira meets Mad Max, maybe like.
Jesus Christ.
But like really.
I still gotta see
but, like,
Akira.
But if it was like a Marvel comic book, I think is like that's the sphere on this, which I just don't like, and but I don't even not like it in the context of the songs because I think the way that in the songs, it's like done is pretty solid for the most part, but this album has a certain motif, a certain skit that keeps coming back that I cannot fucking stand. It is so annoying. It's like this radio like.
It kind of reminds me of like the
DJ.
GTA hosts or the
Yes,
GTA DJs.
exactly. It's like a bit like obnoxious ass fucking like.
It sounds like
What-
I feel like one of the main guys. Like they might have gotten the same fucking person in GTA.
Yeah. What's the shock jockey? Like that is it shock? What are those fuckers called?
Chicken
That were
jockey.
just like chicken. It's very chicken jockey core. Shout out Krish. That chicken jockey is dedicated to Krish. Uh, I can't fucking stand it. It's so annoying. It disrupts the album consistently and gets in the way of what I think is shockingly solid to even very good music. I remembered not liking this album because it's so different, but when I first listened to it, I was at the time of my life where I didn't really like pop music, where I was like, oh, it's too poppy, too formulaic. I'm no longer in that place. I love pop music, and this album is the most accessible, the cleanest, the most like the least challenging, and it fucking it slaps. It's it's full of like bops. Pretty much none of them like get to the peak performance, but the actual songs are very consistent for the most part. There's a couple lowlights.
Like
But the album is just fucking
nah.
not. I kind of like that song. It's
Going to
so
hell.
catchy.
Going to
It's
hell.
so catchy. It's so catchy.
I'm nearly positive I had to play one of these songs in pep band in high school.
I also, I think No has the fucking bridge on it that fucking slaps, right?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it is. Wait, what's the one? It's the one where he's like, oh no, Sing is the one with the fucking insane bridge. This one has a pretty cool bridge too, but this is the one that got reworked from the song on Conventional Opens from Make Room. Like everybody wants to change the world, but no one wants to.
Yeah.
That those lyrics are on the other one. Yeah, no one wants to die. I don't know. I like it. I like it as a song, and it was a huge hit. So
Yeah. For better, for worse.
for better, or for worse, yeah. Yeah, it is a bit obnoxious. It's also so catchy and fun and silly.
Exactly what MCR is known for.
Yeah, I think that this band did irreparable damage to their lasting cultural impact, though.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, what do you have to say?
all right. I think I said
Jockey.
it would be a fine alt rock album if it wasn't MCR. Like,
What does that mean?
I think it was when I was like with Pacific Daydream, like this is a fine pop album. It's by Weezer, and it shouldn't be, you know. That's where I feel like I'm kind of coming from. Was like I honestly would probably enjoy this more if it wasn't fucking MCR. Like I think knowing that it's MCR and the other stuff and what they're known for, I'm just like, why the fuck are they doing this? So I said there were some appealing songs, but a majority felt like cringe, and reminded me of like growing up, because I feel like I was so young when this album came out, but I feel like I remember like people talking about it a little bit, or maybe like a couple years later in middle school. But I think I said one of the tidbits, but I think I remember hearing Sing, and I thought it was like fucking Maroon 5 for the longest time, and then actually hearing it on this album, like no fucking way, this was My Chemical Romance. I was like, holy shit. But I get why they stopped making music after this album. I think they got lost in the sauce while making it, and then they're like, we're cooked. I still don't even know why they stopped fully making music, but I heard like Gerard Way wanted to like do Umbrella Academy. That's the only thing I can think of. But
yeah, I think that the direction definitely foreshadows it because, like, yeah, Gerard Way really wanted to do like more creative, conceptual, like art-based stuff. Because this came with like a comic book that he did, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Like, and I think there was an EP that like gave a bunch of background, and like all the characters on that are mentioned, like Jetstar
I
and
feel
the
like that
Cobra
makes
Kid.
everything so
Like
much
those are
worse.
each
Like
band
it just makes
members.
everything so much worse.
I don't know. I think it just like it makes sense. It's like you're. I think Lost in the Sauce is a good way to put it, where it's like they were really starting to divest from
You
just
know,
focusing on music.
I'll have a slight anecdote here. There's somebody I talked to
No.
recently, and I said I didn't enjoy the new Car Seat Headrest album that well. And they're like, "Oh, but did you even read the art book?" And I'm like, "In what world would I need to read the art book to be able to appreciate the album?" And I almost feel like if the album can't fully stand by itself, or if it's supposedly better with its with further context, and then I'm like, how great can the album be? You know. But I don't
I
really
think
know
it
where I
can
was
work.
going with that one. I mean, I think it works, but it's I couldn't be like, this is so fucking good only based off like the supplemental
Oh
content.
yeah, no, you like the supplemental content needs to add, not be
It's like
like the
maybe it'll make
foundation of it.
it like better, but to be like, oh, it's so great only with the other thing, I'm like, that doesn't add up. I don't think it's the worst thing. Definitely not the worst thing I've ever heard. I can't understand why the fans would fucking hate this album though. So
Yeah, I think that if you hate this album, you
I feel
might.
like if you love the other albums, there's no way you can like this album. If you love this album, there's no way you can love the other ones. Like I don't think this you have to be truly fucking delusional to like love their whole discography.
I was just gonna say that I think that this album like doesn't deserve the hate it gets.
I get, but like to be like, oh, it's like this even comparable to the rest, you know?
If it didn't have the skits, I would have it above I Brought You My Bullets.
All right, cut the stream. Cut end the stream. All right, see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Uh, God, I hope the new Pope is listening to MCR. But it's fun. It's just fun. It's like, it's, it's just fun. I don't know.
Where are we putting it?
I would have it in B above conventional weapons. Hello?
I heard you.
Okay. What was your reaction?
I had a long sigh. I don't think it was picked up on the mic.
It was not.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I had this at least a whole 5 points below. I don't even know if I want to give you my ratings.
Even
Like the
below
point?
conventional weapons?
Yes, of course.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's because I think it just reminds me too much, and there's like, it's more or less like I never want to listen to Danger Days again, and I'm like, I'd probably put on a single from Conventional Weapons again.
See, I don't want to go back to. I've listened to a couple songs, but I literally listened to Danger Days yesterday for fun. It's a fun album. You skip the skits.
Skip like a good 5-10 minutes of it.
They're not that long.
True. I think so much of it is just so fully in like the alt rock, more pop sound that I
Yeah.
cannot stand 2010s, like early 2010s, late 2000s pop. I
Yeah.
think that is the worst genre ever made.
God. Oh God.
I that is the one thing that's where I'm like, this is worse than anything else.
I feel like
think
it doesn't lean too heavily into like the style of the
it
time.
blends into it. I think it definitely does.
I think Sing and Na Na Na, like Na Na Na, like those are the ones that are like super dated.
I
But
don't
to me,
know.
the rest of the album, well, okay, no, the only hope for me is, wait, yeah, the only hope for me is you and the kids from yesterday are also very of the time,
Yeah.
I think. But Save Yourself will hold them back through Destroya. Especially Destroy is my favorite song on the album. Like that song fucks. It's so good. And it doesn't like it's not generic. It doesn't sound like everything else that was coming out. Planetary Go took some getting used to, but like it's very much a unique song. Save Yourself Hold Them Back, like there's a lot on there that isn't just like generic. I also want to mention Vampire Money, which I fucking hated initially, um, and I still don't like it at all.
Yeah.
But knowing the context for it is at least entertaining and redeems it a little bit.
Oh my god.
Which is that they were requested to make a song for Twilight.
Oh my
And they
god.
refused. They kept telling the label like no, and the label was like, "Please just do the fucking song. You're gonna make so much money." And they're like, "We don't want to do the song." So then they made Vampire Money. It's about like being greedy and selling out and
Just
like
make the
making fun of
fucking
everyone
song.
wanting them. It's about making fun of everyone that wanted them. Yeah, I did know that Jai hates fun a little bit.
You know, if it wasn't Krish's birthday, I'd be having a certain response built up for him right now.
Right. Feels good to not owe money.
Anyways, you get the final say. So
You gotta put it in B
okay.
above. There's no way it can be below something that they were like, we can't release this. We gotta do something better.
I definitely think it could be, but whatever. This is fucked. I mean, it's not fucked. I definitely think I went in being like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this, and then I came out and I'm like, you know, maybe I shouldn't have picked this artist.
That may have been the can. That may be true. That may be true. But now it's over. You never have to
True.
listen to My Chemical Romance again.
Nah, I'm definitely gonna. The Black Parade's the one where I'm like, I'm glad that I listened to that album.
Yay.
There's certain songs in there that I'm like, okay, it's good that I know them now. Also, we will do the cooking stream most likely. We just had to postpone it.
Yeah, we decided that it would be best to do it in person,
And so
there
then
will
it's
be an
not hell.
opportunity. Yeah, for that very soon.
And then I think there's also another type of stream I wanted to do where we rank something, potentially some of the artists we're gonna see the next week. I think that would
Should
be
we
good.
should we not spin the bonus stream wheel? Should that just
Yeah,
be the?
I think that should be the bonus.
Okay. I think that's a good call. I'm down for that. He'll be review.
Yep.
Oh god, that means it's time to announce.
It's time for the next artist.
So I had a bit of an identity crisis with this, where I was like, oh, it'd be so perfect to pick this artist, and then you may have instantly guessed the artist.
I did?
Perhaps. And I was like, fuck.
Yesterday? Or a couple days ago, or way before?
There was a point where you guessed it, is all I'll say. So I was like, I gotta pick someone else.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And I thought about other
No,
artists.
you don't.
And I thought about other things. And I just couldn't settle on anything. And I think I've come full circle, and I think it's time to do the White Stripes.
No way! Okay, I talked to Krish. I talked to Krish about it, because Krish originally said Queens of the Stone Age. And I was like, I texted Krish, I'm like, Krish, it's like, Krish, I'm gonna kill myself if we have to do Queens of the Stone Age.
No, I just thought it was really funny that he guessed that, because he was thinking of, because there's a super group that has Queens of the Stone Age members and Jack White. So I thought he was thinking of the right super group, but the wrong band. And so I was like, that's so funny.
You're right. I forgot about that.
But I think that we're only gonna do. Well, we can do just the White Stripes and then maybe Jack White's solo stuff. But I don't want to do any like Raconteurs or Dead Weather or the third one. Yeah.
I will leave it up to you, but I will say that there are definitely Dead Weathers I don't give a fuck about, but there are definitely some Raconteurs albums where I'm like, I enjoy them a lot more than some of the White Stripes and Jack White albums.
Really?
Yes. I
How many
almost
do they have?
they only have three. They only have three.
Dear God.
But the first two, I want to say, are some like peak Jack White. And then so there's 6 White Stripes albums, and unfortunately, now there is what 6 Jack White albums. We could do a perfect 15 if we include the Raconteurs.
Perfect 15.
Because then it's 5 instead of 12.
Oh, that's so many albums. Oh.
You know, it's not as many as Shoo Shoo.
True. Okay, can we? How would we want to do that?
Should we do 5, 5, and 5?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I want to split it up. How we want to split it up? We'll figure it out.
I think the best way to split it up is release order.
Okay.
But I mean, if you don't want to do Raconteurs, I'm fine. I'm letting you know. I think that 2 of the albums are incredible compared to some of the other ones that would be in that list.
We'll think about it. I'll think
Okay,
about it.
we'll come back. We'll come back.
Back to it.
This is the whole thing. So that I'm pulling up right here. 6 Jack White albums. 6 White Stripes. That's crazy that it. See, look, this is the not the worst part. The craziest thing about Jack White is he put like 3 albums out over the course of only like 2 years.
Yeah.
But
4, and 4 would be easier than 5, 5, and 5 for sure.
4, 4, and 4. Oh yeah. I'm set these 2 albums. Like I would get it. Like if some of the stuff I'm being super serious. These 2 are like really really good. Like
The first 2.
I would pick these 2 over multiple of these. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah, we can. Let's decide.
We can get through it. Maybe we can start because I don't even think it would be, or I guess it would be if we do 1, 2, 3. No, it would just be the first 5. So we could decide maybe after the first.
Okay, yeah,
episode.
let's decide after the first. I think that's a good call.
Okay.
Perfect.
I have a feeling that if you were to listen to any of the first album, you might be inclined to include it, but
Right.
We'll see. Okay.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's this. I think that this is also like. I think there's a good variety of like really good and then also ass. So. I truly don't think it's like, where it's like really good and then it gets really bad. I think it goes up and down.
I know it comes back around for
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm very excited for the end.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but this should be interesting. Okay. He was definitely one of my favorites ever. So.
Yeah, that's why I picked it because I was so happy that you picked MCR, but
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have. After this ranking,
It'll be you know it's. I'm more cultured now, at least.
Yeah. True. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Well, maybe next week cooking stream. I think that's the idea.
Yes.
Right.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think that's the day that works.
Yeah, that should be the day.
Nice.
All right. Catch you guys later. Adios.
Bye.